Right now, thousands of loaves are baking in ovens around the world every single second. It is a food so universally essential that astronauts even consume a specialized version of it floating aboard the International Space Station. We even measure human ingenuity against it. When we want to praise a brilliant new idea, we still say it is the best thing since sliced bread. But rewind 14,000 years, and early humans faced a serious dietary problem. They had access to wild grains, but eating them raw was nearly impossible. The human digestive system cannot break down those hard, dry seeds to extract their calories. They solved this by physically crushing those grains into a coarse powder, mixing them with a splash of water, and cooking the resulting paste on hot stones. The result was a dense, heavy puck. It was a far cry from the light, airy loaves rolling off today's automated production lines. Early humans had successfully found a way to digest wild grains for survival. Yet, their primitive recipe was missing one specific element that would make it truly remarkable: air. Thousands of years later in ancient Egypt, someone left a batch of green paste out in the open air by mistake. When they baked it, the dough puffed up. Without realizing it, they allowed a wild, invisible airborne organism to land in their food: yeast. Yeast is a microscopic living organism. When it enters a wet mixture of flour, it sets off a biological reaction that alters the chemical composition of the dough. This animated diagram shows exactly how fermentation works. As the yeast cells consume the natural sugars present in the flour, they excrete carbon dioxide gas. Those gas bubbles get trapped in the elastic dough, forcing the entire mass to expand and rise. You can trigger this exact biological process in your own kitchen today with 4 simple steps: mixing the ingredients, kneading the dough to build a strong gluten structure, resting it to let the yeast ferment, and finally baking it. That accidental chemical reaction turned a heavy, hard-to-chew survival ration into a soft, flavorful staple that people actually craved. The discovery of fermentation made mass production possible. Bread became so central to the Egyptian economy that laborers were often paid their daily wages in loaves and beer. This mass production also created a stark class divide. Refining flour by hand to remove the bran was incredibly labor-intensive. Because of that, soft white bread was rare and strictly reserved for pharaohs and the wealthy elite, while the working class ate a dark, coarse loaf that still contained the wheat husks. Fast forward to America in 1928, and a new step in industrial efficiency hit the market: the commercial bread slicing machine. Buying pre-sliced loaves eliminated a tedious daily physical chore from the kitchen, quickly becoming the ultimate symbol of modern industrial convenience. What started as a simple way to eat wild grass seeds eventually grew to dictate ancient economies, draw clear lines between social classes, and drive consumer convenience in the 20th century. Today, that ancient Egyptian class divide has completely flipped. Dietitians and medical professionals actively steer us away from the elite's prized white bread, instead recommending the historically poor man's whole wheat and brown bread. This chart compares both types. Heavy processing strips white flour of nutrients, leaving significantly less fiber than whole wheat. Whole wheat is healthier because the grain remains intact, retaining the fibrous bran and nutrient-dense germ for better digestion and lasting energy. However, health experts still warn that all foods, even highly nutritious whole grains, need to be consumed in moderation to maintain a balanced diet. With over 200 distinct varieties baked globally today, bread remains one of the oldest, most adaptable foods in our history. So every time you grab a slice for a sandwich, whether you're standing in your kitchen or floating in the International Space Station, you are consuming 14,000 years of accidental science and human ingenuity. If you enjoyed this slice of history, hit subscribe, leave a like, and tell us your favorite bread facts down in the comments.